Hello, my friends. The world's second army in 2 years of war has reached catastrophe. Of course, we look adequately at the situation, and the Russians, of course, have advancements, but with the losses they have, it's not advancement, but destruction of the Russian army and Ukrainian settlements. Those who truly see the situation understand that for such a supposedly great army, even existing advancements are shameful given the losses. And what do we see today on the front line? In a day, the Russians again conducted over 140 assaults. Let's start with the Kharkiv direction. Here, the occupiers continue attempts to advance towards the settlement of Liptsi and also don't cease shelling with mortars. In Vovchansk, battles are also ongoing, and here the Russians gradually try to turn the situation in their favor. Unofficially, there are reports of new advancements so far by tens and hundreds of meters. Therefore, the Ukrainian forces are trying everything possible to destroy the groups that are breaking through. For a day, the front line remains unchanged. In the direction of Kupiansk, the activity remains high. Here, the Russians are attempting to fully capture Sinkivka, breaking through in the area of Pishane, and are also storming the settlement of Stepovano-Vasilivka. Despite this intense activity, the Ukrainian forces are holding the defense, and the front line remains unchanged. In the direction of Svatove, the occupiers continue to assault Berestove, and near Stelmachivka, where there was previously a lull, Russians are gathering reserves for new attacks. Further south, attacks on Rakivka and Makivka haven't ceased. In the direction of Kreminna, the occupiers continue their attacks on Nevsky and Terny. However, as before, the situation remains unchanged, with the Ukrainian forces repelling the attacks. In the direction of Siversk, the intensity of offensive actions is very high, with up to 15 assaults per day. The Russians are attempting to fully capture Bilohorivka, breaking through to Verkhnyo-Kamensk and storming Spirne, Vyimka and Rozdolivka. However, they haven't achieved significant success in any of these settlements. The Ukrainian forces have reported a successful counterattack from their positions, and it appears that the Ukrainian forces are periodically achieving success here, despite remaining on a defensive today and not conducting a large-scale counteroffensive. The attacks are happening at a tactical level. But near Rozdolivka, however, there are again losses reported. The enemy managed to advance about a kilometer northward. There is a heavy concentration of artillery in this area, necessitating repeated withdrawals and engagements. In the direction of Chasiv Yar, the occupiers continue their attempts to break through to the city and conduct attacks on Hrigorivka, Ivanivska, and Klishivka, attempting to press our defense with a wide front. However, in reality, Russian forces halted all these settlements half a year ago and have been unable to advance further. The front line remains unchanged over the past day. The situation is more complex in the direction of Toretsk. The number of attacks reaches 25 assaults per day, indicating serious intentions in this direction. They continue to break through to Toretsk through Delivka, storming Pivnichne and New York. Moreover, they shell the entire area with artillery very actively. Therefore, the situation here is critical. Holding the defense is very difficult. But despite the breakthrough attempts, Russians haven't managed to consolidate far from the front line. The Ukrainian forces are breaking up their formations, and so far the front line remains unchanged over the day. In the direction of Pokrovsk, The occupiers conduct up to 50 assaults per day, and the Shalin of Myrnograd, Pokrovsk, and Grodivka and other nearby frontline settlements doesn't cease. Ukrainian soldiers report that Russian FPV drones are actively operating in Novogrodivka and Solidove, approximately 12 kilometers from the front line. Therefore, the situation in these frontline settlements is very challenging, with the assaults continuing unabated. In the direction of Highway and Novogrodivka, everything remains unchanged. Russians are attempting to exert maximum pressure across a wide front. Despite their losses, there have been no changes along the front line over the past day. In the direction of Kurakhove, the occupiers are storming Krasnohorivka, breaking through near Georgiivka, and attempting to expand their control territory across the fields. Attacks also continue unabated on Paraskoviivka and near the village of Kostiantynivka. They are trying to break through across the fields to encircle the village. Currently, only the gray zone has significantly expanded, but the actual front line where Russians are entrenched remains unchanged. In the direction of Vuhledar, attacks on Vadiane continue unabated, and assaults on Urozhaine and Makarivka persist, making the situation very complex. These villages remain under heavy shelling and attacks as before. Russians are exerting significant efforts to advance towards Velika Novosilka, but there have been no changes along the front line over the past day. In the direction of Zaporizhia, occupiers continue their attempts to break through closer to Hulaypole and conduct offensive actions towards Molotokmachka, breaking through near Robotine. Despite this activity, Ukrainian forces managed to maintain their defense and repel the advancing Russians. In the direction of Kherson, occupiers continue shelling the right bank, and it has been reported that two people were wounded as a result of a drone strike. There are no new offensive actions reported in the vicinity of Krinky. Meanwhile, the Pentagon has decided to deploy long range missile systems in Germany. So, the United States plans to station Tomahawk missiles in Germany, according to European Truth, aimed at military deterrence and protection of NATO partners in Europe. And the NATO summit has concluded, and Stoltenberg summarized.
We also decided to take further steps to bring Ukraine even closer to NATO. As Ukraine continues its vital reforms, we'll continue to support them on the irreversible path to NATO membership. The work we are doing together now ensure that when the time is right, Ukraine can join without delay. It's not a question of if, but when.
And that's all from me. So please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.